How do we engage students in the process of writing measurable post-secondary goals?
Okay, this is kind of an interesting question. I don't know that kids refuse necessarily to take part in the discussion on measurable post-secondary goals as much as it is that the kids probably don't have a clue about what it is they might be interested in doing. And so I think one of the strategies is to sit down with that student using formal, informal career interest inventories to help the student begin to identify what it is they might have an interest in and what are the career opportunities and career possibilities that are out there. I think over time in working with students and engaging students in this kind of discussion and decision making, if a student really begins to believe that you really have an interest in them and their future, and they see that this discussion really is about them, and it really is engaging them and listening to them in terms of discussion and decision making, I think some of these young people who you might originally think as not being motivated or not being interested in this do really get excited about it and do begin to think about the future and do appreciate somebody sitting and listening to them and beginning to help them plan about what that might look like and what do we need to do in order to get there. So I wouldn't blanket say that kids aren't interested in themselves or their future. It's a matter of what it is that we need to do to prepare them for that and then follow through over time to keep that kid engaged in that planning, discussion, and decision making.
So talk about the importance of developing a connection with the student when designing measurable post-secondary goals.
It's like anything, I think, in life, Steve. It's about relationships, and trust and really expressing a clear interest and desire to work with you and interest in who you are and what it is that you might be interested in doing. One of the things that I think schools could do to improve that is that I see when kids are going from middle school to high school and we start to think about this transition planning about the future. Oftentimes I see in school districts kids moving from middle school to high school that are being passed off to a case manager or an IEP team leader or whomever. And then every year that case manager changes. So over the course of the 3 or 4 years in high school, they may have 3 or 4 different case managers. I think one of the key components here is for school districts to look at how they assign kids to a specific person in a high school and that we have a consistent case manager, an IEP person who works with that student over the course of those 4 years so that there's some consistency and some follow through in the discussion planning and decision making. And when doing that, I think that's part of building relationships.